That was like a bit of a roller coaster, right? We kind of rode the wave there, like Austin to depression and pregnancy. I love a roller coaster, though. Do you? Welcome back to another episode of Just Alex. Today's episode is a Q&A. Your questions and our answers, but I'm here with Harrison. Hi.
Hello, hello.
He doesn't know any of the questions, which I love. So we're going to get into depression during pregnancy. What if I want to be a stay-at-home mom? Why is my push present a G-Wagon, and what color did you choose? I'm just kidding. He's shaking his head like, in what world? We actually heard that the doors, when you close them, like really loud, you have to actually find your key, like not a good mom car. But anyways, and then what changed for me wanting to have kids now versus maybe not wanting them so much before. So we're going to just dive into all that. But we're starting in order of softball questions to hardball questions. So you can warm up a little bit.
Cool. Whatever
Works.
has been crafted.
Okay.
Scripted, programmed.
No, definitely not scripted, but programmed, yes. So why Austin and why was Nashville not the right choice? This one is so easy for me. You have to drive everywhere in Nashville. It felt very spread out. We love to walk.
Well, you've heard, should we talk about the Diet Coke Index?
Yes, we should. Go. It's your index, darling.
The Diet Coke Index is how long it takes to walk from your house to go get a Diet Coke. Austin has a phenomenal, it ranks very high in the Diet Coke Index.
Like New York is the highest, right? Because you just anywhere. But Austin's higher than LA.
It's like, why did we move to Austin to go get Diet Cokes? We moved here for the Diet Coke.
Well, you guys aren't pregnant.
For the Lollipop. We only moved here for the Lollipop.
That's right. How far away are you from an Lollipop? That's more
we're
specific
gonna
store.
We're going to rebrand the Diet Coke Index to the Lollipop Index.
That's right, the Diet Cola. They have a cola flavor.
But I'm cutting you off. No.
Okay.
It's just Alex, not just Harrison.
You are so polite. You're becoming so Southern. I will say this. The more we've been in Austin, the more we look at each other and we're like, we just picked so right. Like this past weekend, we drove around the lake, then we went on the lake, and we're really starting to figure out this city, and everything is so close. We've got our bearings. The one thing we thought Austin wasn't on our list, we're like, it's just not that beautiful. Wrong. Austin is beautiful. Like the outskirts are these rolling green hills. It's stunning.
Yeah. So there was a method to the madness on how we chose the cities, right? And every city we went to, we spent a week plus in, from Miami to Newport, Nashville, obviously lived in LA, lived in New York, and then we drew the 7, core criteria of each city. So we had like child environment, affordability, people, beauty. Things to do, beauty, and then we rank walkability, and then we rank them all 1 through 10. And Austin and LA/Newport were the top front runners. And what's crazy is like we've been here for a couple weeks. The things that it ranked poorly at, like low, like as you said, beauty, are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And the things that like we were most excited about, like the people, like what appears to be the child environment, like are just fulfilling on full cylinder. Like I haven't loved the city in a really long time, and like I love it here.
I agree. The people they're from all over. It's a massive transplant city, and they're all doing really cool things. Everyone you talk to. So we've been having so much fun exploring the city. So it's been really exciting. So the house update, that's a question. The house update. We've got it down to, I would say, 3. And one thing we're trying to figure out, do we rent, do we buy? The reason we would rent is to make sure we love the location. Like, we are still new here, so there's a couple different areas we really like. And so to buy, like, what if we rented one now for a year, and then at the end of that year, be like, oh my gosh, we know exactly where we want to live. So just the nervousness of a new city. So we've got options to rent and options to buy. We're just trying to do gut checks on it. When you say,
Yeah, I think you nailed that.
yeah,
I'm like shocked at how much supply of homes for sale there is on the market. I'm shocked at the amount of homes there are listed on the market here for sale. Supply seems way higher for sale than for rent. But as you said, want to feel out the neighborhoods before you make that commitment. But I'm sure we'll lock down something that we love.
well, and we looked at one yesterday and we both loved it. But we were like, we got in the car and you're like, you don't take a baby girl home there.
That was a ridiculous house.
It was awesome, but it was much more like a bachelor pad, or however you say that for two people, like a starter couple house. It was awesome, but we were like, you don't take a kid home here.
Yeah, if we were still dating, that would have fully been it.
Like a great entertaining house, but not a fun first bathhouse.
Totally. It didn't have a bath.
It didn't have a bath.
It's the most ultra modern showers.
Yeah, we were like, this isn't fun for a newborn. So that's been our parenting sides are really coming out. Okay, so what are you both most excited about starting your new chapter together? Aw, you go first.
After you.
There's the Southern man. You're killing me. Okay, so I'm most excited about figuring out, like, okay, things moved very quickly, right? So we had the dating phase for 2 months, and now you've known me longer pregnant than you've known me not pregnant, which is crazy to think about because pregnant me is just a little, no, I don't feel like my best self by any means. So thank you for still loving me through that and being my rock. But I'm most excited about having her. What?
I don't love you.
It's not going to, people are just going to clip that and take it and run. But that's okay because I have thick skin. So
Shout out Twitter.
You kill me. One of the things I love about Harrison is his sense of humor. Hashtag tough love. But what was I saying?
It was what are we most excited about? And you were talking about how I've known you more pregnant versus not.
Yes.
Versus nailing.
So I'm excited.
Most excited
I'm
about.
excited for family life together. Like you and I being parents and figuring out our parenting styles. We were driving through this neighborhood the other day near Westlake High School, right? So we're in high school mode at this point. And I was like, did your parents let you spend the night out on school nights? Harrison was like, no. And I was like, mine didn't either. And then we started talking about curfews. You know, what's her curfew going to be? Harrison's like 9 p.m. And I'm like, okay, so.
Not a chance. No curfew. You got to be on the no curfew program.
No, but we'll do.
You got to trust them. Make the right decisions.
Nothing good happens after midnight. She's a girl. Nothing good happens after midnight. You want to just trust her till 3 a.m.? Do you, Dad? To your little baby girl, you just want to trust her till 3, 4?
We'll get like when you go on house arrest and they put the ankle, but we'll have it like be a zapper. And then once like 11 p.m. hits, we'll just start zapping her every like 6 minutes.
Just a reminder to come
like
home.
no curfew, but no, just zap your way home.
And so that's what I'm excited for, is figuring out parenting styles together and then forming our family. And just having those Tuesday nights at home where we have like Taco Tuesday, the three of us. Like, I can't wait for that. What about you?
I think I have two answers. I think the first answer is like much more framework driven. Like I have my 5 buckets, which I talked about on the goals episode. And I love how full those 5 buckets can be with us as partners.
Yeah.
And with the newborn on the way. I'm so excited about, family life. I'm so excited about our love life. I'm so excited about, the impact and professionally what things will look like there, our alignment and interest on, the mental health and physical health side of things, and so on and so forth. But then I feel like that's kind of like a PR-ish answer,
Yeah.
but I do feel it. I'm so excited to build life with you in Austin.
Oh, Austin.
Like, I just looked at the weekend we just had and the people we were with. I'm like, this is going to be so much fun, especially with a kid in the mix. And I just like, I'm very happy to be here.
It's a lot of young families here and a lot of people doing things that I think inspire both of us,
Totally.
which makes starting a family in this chapter all the better. Like really exciting. Because I think some people think you having a kid, life stops. But one thing we're really excited about is bringing the kid into our life.
Totally.
And so we are obsessed with, like, we'll go to Soho House pool and we'll just see kids in the water. And, like, the parents are on their laptops with their all, and I'm like, that's it. That's awesome. Kids to dinner. Having couples over a lot and just having, like, wine nights with the babies.
Taking the kid, like we were out on Lake Austin this weekend, and the take was like, how much fun will it be taking our kid on Lake Austin?
Taking the little babe, yeah, with us everywhere. And so, yeah, I think we're getting really excited about figuring out where we're going to live, what that's going to look like, and then bringing this little babe into the world. Okay, so now I'm going to answer what changed wanting kids now with you versus maybe I wasn't so sure before. And I
have a question.
Yes.
So you said before you didn't want kids, and I know no one will ever believe this, but I've never listened to a Mean Girl Pod episode. So what?
Well, actually, what it was that I said was I've always wanted kids. But then something started happening to me in my previous relationship where I kept delaying the timeline. So I'd be like, let's just wait 6 more months, maybe another year. And then I started being like, I don't even like feel like I want to have kids at all. So then I thought, oh my God, like maybe I don't want kids because I never saw it. Okay, well, fast forward to you, met you, and like I got pregnant really quickly. And then you find out, well, we were trying. And so the question is like, why and what changed?
Okay.
Valid question.
Yeah.
I get it all the time when I put up a question box. What changed was and I can't explain it other than the feeling of wanting to have a family with somebody is indescribable. That's the best I can do. I always wanted to have kids. And so I was really excited when I felt the feeling with you. But that's all I've got on it.
Does this match with you?
Okay.
Because while there was a lot of eyes and attention on your old relationship and no eyes and attention on my old relationship, that dynamic was similar.
Right.
And
you didn't have a podcast about it, so I think that's
what I would describe what changed is in my past relationship, like I wasn't ready for the non-family chapter life to close.
okay.
And when I met you, I really knew like that it was time for that non-kid responsibility chapter to close and time to begin the next chapter. And like that, it just this chapter thing is really what comes to the top of my mind.
So that's exactly it. Now I'm going to build off of it a bit. So I wasn't ready for the no kid phase to end. Furthermore, what I found with you was life. You filled a lot of my other buckets, so to speak, right? So like career-wise, which I'm naturally ambitious and I love careers and business and challenging yourself, right? So I found, okay, he really pushes me. You inspire me. So all these other buckets and like to make the circle round, it was like I really do want to have like a family with him. And we talked a lot at the beginning about how fulfilling it would be to have a family. Like what else are we going to be doing now? Because we fill all these other buckets of health, lifestyle, challenge yourself, learning, romantic life. But then there was that family life of like just us two. But it's like we really want babies with that, and we want to start a family and grow a family because that's your natural instinct. So I was ready for the no kids door to close and this one to open like immediately, which was crazy. Okay, so you're just like accepting my answer.
No, I think it's your it's your answer. I think it was a great answer.
Did it make sense?
Great answer, Alex.
Thank you. Do you have any of these? Okay, the next one. Traditions from your childhood you want to continue with your baby girl. Yeah, can I go for something?
I have no fucking idea what I'm going to say. So
Okay.
My facial response was much more about interesting question versus I know what I want to say. I was like, oh shit, I need to think about childhood things.
So I heard a quote the other day that your Aunt Louise sent me, and it was Jay Shetty, and he was saying the most common problem people do in relationships is when one person was born and raised, they had a house full of bricks and it's not perfect because a lot of those bricks are damaged. The other person had a house full of bricks, likewise damaged. When these two people merge together, they both think my house is the best house, even though they both know they're damaged. So I'm like, you come to my house. Let's live in my house. And you're like, no, you come live in my house. But one thing I think you and I are trying to be really thoughtful about is building our own house together with our good bricks. So, for example, I didn't go home for Christmas last year. And we did something really fun in New York on Christmas Eve. And you said, let's make this a tradition, going out on Christmas Eve instead of staying in. And we went to a play and we went out to dinner and like we got dressed up. And I loved that. Like that just like fit my spirit perfectly. So I think while there's traditions from both of our homes that, like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the Jewish holidays and we're going to do the Christian holidays, both from our childhood. And we're going to blend those. But we're also going to be really thoughtful about making it our own home.
For sure. I have some traditions I'd like to carry on, though.
Okay, give me one.
I love that we want to start on our own.
Yeah, but I also, but go.
Skiing. So some of my fondest memories of my grandfather. So my parents put me on skis when I was 2 years old. And so some of my fondest memories of my grandfather was us skiing together as a family. And I mean full-fledged family. So like my mom, 4 sisters, grandfather, the uncles, my sister.
Everyone skis.
And my sister has now, they've started that. So just because my sister wants, we do have our competitive side. She put her kid on skis at 1.5 years.
Wow.
Just to make sure that she took the cake on me. So I'm really excited to that. My dad, who hadn't skied in like a decade, since last time my dad was on skis, we were in Japan together.
Wow. And
he hated it. And my dad, like, we got skis so he could ski with his granddaughter. And so skiing is a big one. I'm sure there's many more, but
one thing I love about your family is that they go to Hawaii in December, which we never had a place that we went to every year at the same time. So I'm really excited about that because the little baby is going to be 3 months old, 2 months old, and we're going to take her to Hawaii.
Yeah. And so the Hawaii tradition started with my dad's grandparents. Grandpa Malik would take him there. So that's why my dad loves Hawaii so much, is because that's where he would go growing up.
Yeah, you guys are good about, like, your family does a lot. Like, we're going to Spain with your parents next week. Your whole family, intermediate family. And so you guys, like, do these abroad trips and travel really well and plan, and, like, I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah, but you're so used to it, but you've also been to 57 countries, to which I replied, I didn't know there was 57 options. So I just love that about you guys. And then, okay, so I'm trying to think of other, like, okay, a big one was my dad. I asked you the other day, I said, what's our little baby going to be for Halloween? Harrison said, oh, that's a Christian thing. Like, we do not celebrate Halloween in Canada, especially because it, like, represents all this bad food. And I was like, oh.
No. I trolled you by telling you that Jews don't celebrate Halloween, and then you texted my sister to ask.
Yeah, she sent me a photo of your niece at Halloween being Paw Patrol. And so I was like, oh, dang it. I want ours to be like a lobster, and then I want to put her in a big pot pan.
Oh, I love that.
I just am so excited for Halloween because it's our first holiday. But my dad always did Halloween really big and dressed up, and, like, so I want us as parents to dress up too.
I have another thing,
Yes.
another tradition.
Okay.
So one of the things that my dad did that I loved growing up was he coached all of my teams up until things got competitive. So coached baseball and coached soccer. And I loved that because that was some really good bonding, mentoring experiences. And so I'd love to, I fully plan to take that on too.
So,
Probably with those two sports, assuming that, because when they're that young, you kind of choose the sports, right?
yeah,
And I
but
feel like t-ball, baseball, and soccer are like the easy ones.
my dad was also my coach, though, and I remember it was basketball. But do you know what he said about it? There's the thing about the coach, too, is like it's a phenomenal bonding experience with your kid, but you have to be really fair to all the kids. Like you have like a larger duty.
Of course.
Because you're these little kids like lifeline, and you're what gives them their confidence.
Yeah. No, of course.
And you
It's a great
cheerlead
point.
them. Yeah, I think it's like really special. Okay. I mean, like, these are the things that I think we're gonna have so much fun with.
For sure.
Like traditions, bringing them. Like, okay, then one more. Father's and Mother's Day, you did it. We always had breakfast in bed, and then for Mother's Day, you brought me breakfast in bed, and I was like, this is my guy. Like, this is what I wanted because it's what I was used to. And so I want to take a little photo of you with the little baby girl every year for Father's Day in bed, eating your breakfast in bed, because I always had that.
Love the sounds of that.
Yeah. Okay. What is something you and Harrison have taught one another, and how will you teach it to the baby? I have to sneeze. Do you guys say bless you? Because you've never said it to me. So let's just ask out loud.
I feel like the internet's going to I feel like I'm going to get in trouble for this.
It's not your fault.
I kind of think saying bless you is ridiculous.
Why?
Why am I blessing you?
That's fair because like you don't do it when I cough.
Yeah. I want to meet much more so be like, are you okay?
Well, of
Or
course
like,
I'm okay.
do you need a napkin?
But I'm fine. I just
Versus
sneezed.
like, what am I blessing up?
Bless you. Thank you. I don't know. It's just polite. It's one of those things that I've always just taken as to do. Huh.
Well, I think you say it because like when you sneeze, your heart maybe skips a beat or something.
Huh. I have no idea why you say bless you after you sneeze. People will tell us.
Good job. I'll give you good jobs next time you
Thank
sneeze.
you. I think Gesundheit is maybe bless you in like another language or something.
Sounds German.
Yeah. Okay. What is something that I've taught you besides saying bless you that you have not adapted? And something that you've taught me. Harrison's taught me, how long do we have? Harrison's taught me how to hold myself accountable, how to be good with money, how to mentally level up, which sometimes is hard in pregnancy because I'm sitting there crying and he's so sweet to me. But you'll say, I don't know if we're having a hormone moment, which no big deal, or is there a shot here that we mentally can level up? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's a really tricky balance.
You do a good job though with being
Really
like,
tricky balance.
I'm here either way, but I can't pick. Like a hormonal person can't pick its hormones. You've taught me how to pack. I know that's weird. How to clean up a mess very quickly, like how to be efficient. You've taught me, and how to pack for Europe in a carry-on because what if they lose your bag? How to stay in small hotel rooms if they have a better location because it's worth it. How to you just being to 57 countries and having lived in Hong Kong learned how to travel and do things so incredibly efficiently, and I just watch you sometimes in awe because I think packing we need to reserve half the day. You're like, it's maybe going to be 10 minutes. Like if our checkout time is noon, Harrison's like, we should be back at 11:45. I can pack us both. And I'm like, oh, and you do.
Yeah, I don't think the packing thing is rocket science. I like the other things though. They sounded very nice.
Your turn.
How to be annoyed. How to get roasted on the internet.
Yeah. You're welcome. How to have thick skin.
How to have thick skin.
You're welcome for that.
what I would say, you have taught me a lot of things, but what jumps out when that question's asked is, you really taught me how to live and love life.
Oh.
And, I always prided myself on this kind of anything is possible mindset and having like a fearlessness around whatever I would take on. And, you just showed me how much more there is to that. Like there really isn't anything that, you think that can't be accomplished. And I love that. Even if that means living outside of your means.
No. I don't ever live outside my means. I do think scared money doesn't make any though. Scared money don't make none.
Yeah, there was the live the life you want, not the what was the saying that you said?
Something Drake said. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that guy. He got it from like a Rick Rubin though, so it stood up.
All right, we're back on board.
Yeah. It wasn't Rick Rubin.
Where are we at now?
Okay, I just have one more for you.
Yeah.
Honest, like very direct, no Southern communication. So Harrison will ask me for a Northern answer, not a Southern answer. So like, how are you today? I'm fine. How are you? How are you actually, Alex? How are you really? And then I give the real. Your mom even has started it too. She'll be like, I'm going to show you a dress, but I do not need you just to tell me it's cute. I actually need you to tell me if this dress is going to look cute on me.
There feels like there's a full episode of unpacking between Southern etiquette and Northern etiquette, and you've taught me a lot about Southern etiquette because like it is different, and it is in many ways like it is in the movies.
Yeah, it can be lovely, but it can also like bless your heart can mean fuck you.
Yes, and that breaks my brain.
Yeah, where you guys would just be like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah.
Because when someone says bless your heart, you're like, well, I thought you meant it nicely, but you didn't? Now I'm just confused. So it's not very like direct and honest communication. So, yeah. Okay, so next question, depression and pregnancy. So I made a video last week talking about how pregnancy's been, and I was like, I want to be unfiltered about this and the reason I think people hesitate to be unfiltered is because then people are like, you're not tough. There's everyone's had babies, that whole argument. Not the first pregnant person on the planet. Okay, well, also I'm thankful to be pregnant, right? There's that disclaimer. But all the while, pregnancy can blindside you if nobody tells you what really happened to them. So I think it's important. And I think if we're going to use social media, we should use it for these honest things. Shared experiences, I think, help people make you feel less alone. So I said I felt really depressed, super anxious about little things, and like I cry a lot, and I'm extremely nauseous. But the physical side of things I can handle, and I expect it. It's this mental side of things. I got so many DMs and text messages about girls being like, I had the same thing. I didn't feel my best self during pregnancy. I had prepartum depression, which is different than postpartum depression. It's depression while you're pregnant. And I was like, oh my gosh, so what I'm feeling is really real. But then I got a DM that said, check your nausea medicine. And she said, this happened to me, and it was my nausea medicine blocks your serotonin receptor. So I Googled mine. I was on Reglan. I was on it 4 times a day, 10 milligrams 4 times a day. I Googled it. It blocks, the way Reglan works is it blocks your serotonin and dopamine receptors. So I started taking it maybe a month and a half ago. And while I felt a lot less nauseous, slowly, and it really hit me last week. And I would tell Harrison, like, I could hardly get out of bed. I wake up in the morning hysterical, no zest for life. And like throughout, and each day was getting increasingly worse. And so I'm so glad this girl sent me this DM. So we called 2 doctors, basically, and they both were like, whoa, 40 milligrams a day is like way too much and really not a good medicine for a pregnant person. So anyways, I cut that cold turkey. And while maybe I do have a little bit of prepartum depression, I don't know yet because I'm only on day 3 or 4 of cutting this medicine cold turkey. I definitely feel better each day. And I feel more nauseous though, but that's okay. That's an okay trade-off. I'll take that all day. If I have to be physically sick or mentally sick, I'll take physical. So I'll keep you guys posted, but I'm really hopeful, and nothing takes away from how excited I am to meet this baby girl, but I am hopeful that the next 3 months, I have 3 months left, they're better.
Do you want to talk about the survey?
Yeah, so I have this like mom's chat on my page, and I asked, did you guys experience depression while pregnant? And last I checked, it was 70% had said yes. And that blew me away because I had heard about a lot of things during pregnancy at this point. But depression, like I found out about that 6 months in. And so I think I just want people to know if you're feeling it and you feel really flat, like it's okay. Because we all feel that way, and these hormones are just crazy. You know, like I can see a hair on a laptop and just freak out because it grosses me out. I can get a whiff of cottage cheese on the wrong moment and throw up. Like, so of course it can do stuff to your brain too. And I think it hits some people worse than others. Some people have great pregnancy. My mom felt better than ever pregnant. You know, so it hits everybody differently. But if you get a bad bout with it, they say every kid's different too.
I love that you are sharing this because I know it's not easy. And I think there's a lot more to unpack here. But I think the general theme of it is like so much is talked about pregnancy, but so much isn't.
Right.
And, you know, we are learning real time all the things that aren't discussed because, you know, for whatever reason, you know, they're still taboo. They're a smaller percentage of the population, but when I saw that stat on your poll around the amount of women, and it, you know, hundreds of people replied, so it wasn't a small sample size of how many women felt depressed during pregnancy, like my jaw dropped. And so I'm proud of you for talking about it because initially I know that probably wasn't very easy, and I'm proud of how you are working through it. And I'm excited to support you any way possible as you handle the good days, the bad days, and everything in between.
Thank you. You've been, I tell you all the time, you are my actual rock. Like, I depend on you. I feel like a child who's dependent upon you, which you've just been incredible. But I think it's hard because you want to, I don't know how to say it. Well, I think it's hard to talk about this today because I'm not through it, right? So I had mentioned that to you where it was like, do we do the episode on this? And I was like, well, I can't because I'm in the middle of it, right? I'm living this, but all I can do is just tell you my experience right now. But I also, when I started feeling depression, I was like, I was looking everywhere but pregnancy. And I was like, what is it? Is it the move? And then it's like, no, it could be the largest thing, you know, that's happening to you right now. And you're supposed to be so excited to meet the baby, and you are, but some people go through it after the baby comes too. And it's like your hormones are growing another human. So some stuff's probably going to happen to you mentally.
Totally. Sometimes we just need to simplify things. And when you create another person, all sorts of wild shit has to happen in your body to do it. And that's going to create all sorts of emotions.
Yeah, and I'm on that note, you know, nothing clouds how excited I am to meet the baby girl. And I like talk to my stomach all the time. So I would do this again in a minute. And I know anybody else that's a mom would too. But I think getting off this medicine will help. And, you know, I'm adding more salt into my diet to help with the nausea. We're meditating. So I'm really hopeful that these last 3 months will be really good. but also just acknowledging like, hey, you're growing a baby. And when you do that, mentally, it can take a toll on you. And so some people DM me and they're like, I was not my best self throughout pregnancy. Woof. And it's like, that's okay, because we all want to bring, not we don't all want to bring babies into the world, but if you're one that does, it might be tough. It might be beautiful. And I think whatever card you get dealt, like that's why moms are so incredible. It's like you just get through it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is unbelievable. I have like such new respect.
Well, thank you for sharing that because I know it wasn't easy.
No, of course. I wish I knew more on the topic, but we're still collecting data. Okay, so the next one. Oh, what happens if Alex has the baby and wants to be a stay-at-home mom?
One of the things I love so much about you is your intensity and your passion. And right now, a lot of that passion has gone towards you building your startup. And if you decide to take that fire and focus it on full-time motherhood, then I'm there to support you, and I know you'll do an unbelievable job at that. And I think these are things that over time you can only tell what feels right, but I really trust your instincts on how, whether you end up balancing work and motherhood or going full-time motherhood. And I trust our relationship to be in a great place either way.
And you said, I don't think you just said this, but you say it all the time, so I just want to say it for you. Like, you recognize being a mom is a full-time job.
Totally.
Like 100%. But also at the same time, like the full-time job I choose is this business career, right? This media route, which I love and love talking to you about. But yeah, if the baby comes out and I feel like called, drawn to being a full-time mom, Harrison's never going to be like, nope. When I met you, you were a working woman and you're going to stay that way. It's like, I think you would support me either way.
For sure.
I would be shocked, but we'll see.
For sure. What a different type of question than the one before.
Yes, I know.
Real transition from serious to light.
Yeah, exactly. Burping moment. See, when I burp, you don't say bless you.
So, I say, ooh, gross.
Yeah, that's right. No, I say ooh, gross. Okay, so it's called Just Alex. Why is Harrison on? Well, I'll tell you. A lot of reasons. Do you want to go? We both know the answer to this.
Well, it's called Just Alex, not just Harrison. So it's like it's
By all means.
It's your answer.
So the early stages of this podcast were laying the groundwork for it, right? We really wanted it to be an up close, personal look at my real life, which now you're such an integral part of my real life, and we've thrown so much at you guys. Like, no, we're dating, we're pregnant, we've moved to Austin. So we're still getting through that groundwork. Those stories aren't told best by myself because you're fully half of them, right? And so I love, like, while I'm the podcaster's my job, I love having you on here and being able to talk to you and bounce things off of you, because that's the most accurate look into our life. Like, if this is real life for me, you're a very large part of that. So I do invite Harrison on, and it is nice that you say yes. And on the days he doesn't, then I do it by myself. But the goal here is, and we've got a lot of guests lined up because we want to have educational guests on here. We want to have psychiatrists, therapists, experts, other moms, dads. And so we're going to start doing the interview process. But right now we're in lay groundwork phase. And when we do those interviews, sometimes it'll be me, sometimes it'll be me and Harrison. And that's why. Because it's real life, and you are the real life. And given how I've been feeling, it's having somebody here to talk to, it's just been like so helpful.
Well, it's been fun.
Okay, so that ladies and gentlemen, that's the questions. And that was like a bit of a roller coaster, right? We kind of rode the wave there, like Austin to depression and pregnancy. I love a roller coaster, though. Do you? Do you like roller coasters, or you're afraid of heights?
Haley would bully me into roller coasters growing up. We'd go to the P&E.
Do you like it, though? Do you like them?
I could like deal with them. There were scarier rides that she would torment me into as well, like Drop Zone.
Yeah, the drop. I love the drop.
The bungee drop, and she would just shame me if I didn't go on.
Yeah.
Hated them.
It is shameful to not go. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine.
But yeah, I was very afraid of heights.
Yeah, I love them. By the way, my recent craving is to go on a hot air balloon, which I know maybe you're not my best partner for that. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening. Share this with a friend, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And we love you guys. Harrison, what are you texting? Are you texting?
No, I'm just looking at some emails. I'm sorry.
Okay, come back. We're almost done.
Okay.
Tell them you love them. We love you guys.
Thank you for listening.
Okay, guys, thanks for listening to another episode of Just Alex, powered by Just Media House. If you enjoyed the show, which I think you did because you made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review. All of those things are so important. Stay connected on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at Just Alex Pod. Post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Theme song to the Just Alex Pod by Gideon Shawkin and Denisha. I'm Just Alex, you're just you. Let's keep doing this thing. New episodes every Thursday.